how long is the process? First of all, are some of these people actually getting engaged, got engaged?
Yeah.
Yes?
Every possible scenario you could have imagined in your head played itself out on this show. But people were there because they were fed up with the typical dating scenarios
so many of my younger
shallow
friends
dating, and they wanted something a little more substantial. So this provided the opportunity to like truly get to know people on the most raw level, like get to know who they are, what made them tick. Because
how does it work?
Nothing.
How many couples are involved, and how long of a process is this?
So we started out with around 20 people, and they just went through like kind of a speed dating type of thing. And then they all had a notebook, and they're like, I want to see, you know, Nick and John and Rachael again. I want to see those three people.
It's all a blind process.
It's all blind, but as you're getting to know them in that first week, people were guys that all they do is work out. We're like, I'm so emotional right now.
Grown, strong men in tears. I'm like, it's gonna be okay, man.
He's like, you don't understand. This is my love. And we're like,
so you guys were like host / a little bit therapist.
We were sounding good for them.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, we took away their cell phones, we took away their computers, we took away their television. They had nothing to do but sit there with themselves, think about themselves and then the other person. And it was any time of day. So at 3 a.m., they would come out to the chaperone and say, can I see Nick? And if he was awake and willing, he'd go into a pod, she'd go into a pod.
They didn't actually ask to see me, by the way. That was not on the
That'd
table.
Be weird, right?
We know what she was saying. No, but when you think about it, if you think about what you read about in classic literature and what we love most about great romances are the letters, the longing, the being apart from each other. You know, all of that where people had to write their feelings down or express them in song, or in poetry. Like that's what fuels romance.
I don't think any of these people thought coming into this experience they would find the level of connection and in the short amount of time that they did. And I'm not sure we did either.
How long was the process?
In the pods was a couple weeks, but within the first week, people were in love and ready to propose. We had multiple proposals, and that was all on their own. But once you did propose, we were like, okay, well, now you have to do the process. Now we need to insert the physical realities. So we sent them to a tropical destination, and then we had them meet each other's families. We put them in an apartment together, and then
the four-season treatment. Can you vacation? Can you meet the family? And
can you go back to work and live together? And so then at the end of it, that was the point where we said, you have to get to the altar. Full gown, full tux. And at that point, do you say I do to the person you fell in love with, sight unseen, or do you say I don't and walk away from them forever?
They don't see each other till the altar?
No, I'm saying that we make them go all the way to the altar.
No. After they propose.
How did they do all that?
Right? Could you imagine just blindfolded, like
you put them in an invisibility suit, you wrap them up like a potato?
That's season 2. No, they saw each other after the proposal.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, at that point,
then
the process
were ready to propose after just a week?
After 3 days, Rachael.
I mean, they absolutely fell in love with people they had never seen, just simply getting to know them on the other side of a wall. You could ask any question you wanted. I mean, literally hours and hours and hours of like an old school way of getting to know somebody.
In love.
Yeah. That is it.
Remember what it was like to fall in love, like with somebody?
Like hours on the phone.
Well, hopefully you're still in love.
Well, no, that's also, we were saying while we were intrigued by this, Nick and I was living in New York, working in New York, and he was living in LA with his music and working out there, and so...
Oh, look at you, too. Look at them kids. They're crazy.
That was an ugly sweater party, let me be very clear.
That's not a typical
That's not our typical holiday attire. Although now I would totally rock that. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I would rock that. So we, for the first probably 6 months to a year of our courtship when we were dating, it was just the phone. And it was
so it's a little bit like that.
Yeah, we were laying in bed at night and it was...
blind dating.
It was taking the physicality out of it and saying, like, what do you want in a wife? And what do you want?
Yeah.
Who are you as a person? And what are your fears?
Just talking to each other.
And of course, the physical side of it comes into play at some point.
Of course.
But to have that great foundation of like, and support of like really truly knowing somebody and knowing what makes them tick.
And that makes them more beautiful.
It makes it even
more
better.
attractive.
But also on the flip side, I was saying, whenever you're frustrated with that person, then you're like, man, I really got to get out of this room because right now it either escalates it in a good way or it escalates it. You know what I mean? You just have to walk away and have that space together. And we find that whenever you step away from something and you come back, then you can get back to the foundation, back to the root of it, and you can talk through it.
This was falling in love for all the right reasons. Because you truly loved the person you had got to know on the other side of that wall. And then we introduced the physical.